What else you can do in May is to prune shrubs. So for example, where you've had early flowering shrubs, forsythia, flowering currant, they can be pruned because they've finished flowering. Shrubs which are flowering about now, which will finish by the end of May, you can consider pruning them, Spirea philadelphus. And you can either trim them into a nice shape, which is what pruning is about, or if they've got out of hand, you can cut them right down, taking a third of the stems out at the base, opening up, letting more air in and creating a better shape. Clematis montana, which is very vigorous, you can also trim that back or give it more of a prune once it finishes flowering, which will be towards the end of May, depending on where you are in the country. And also rhododendrons. Now rhododendrons can get really quite large, and once they've finished flowering, again end of May, early June, they can be pruned. And if you've got one that's really overgrown, this is the time to renovate it, and you can hard prune it. And if you go to the website, there is illustrations there of hard pruning rhododendrons, and it does look a bit ugly when you do it, because what you have is stumps and a few leaves, and they probably won't flower the next year, but they will flower after that, and they will come back and they will do really well. They're one of the plants, one of the shrubs that you can hard prune. So we had some by a back door that were completely overgrown, and we cut them right back, and they recovered very well, and they're now a manageable size. So if your rhododendrons have got very large, outgrown their space, then once they finish flower, you can prune them, but do bear in mind you will lose the flowers for next year. What else to do in May? There's the Chelsea chop, so called because it used to be always done around the time of the Chelsea flower show, which this year I believe is going to be a virtual flower show, but principle's still the same. It's usually done around the end of May, beginning of June, depending on how much the plant in question has grown. The Chelsea chop is just a means of pruning, usually perennial plants, to make them grow more bushy. As you know, if you pinch out the tops of plants, they tend to put out shoots and be more bushy. And you can either cut all of the top few centimetres off the plant, or you can do some and not others, so you've got different flowering times, or you can even do parts of the plant and not other parts, some of the stems. It's entirely up to you, but it can make perennials look neater as the growing season goes on. There's a video on the website just about the Chelsea chop, and there's a page. It's not suitable for all plants. It's really herbaceous perennials and perennials which are multi-stemmed. It does have the advantage of making the plant more compact. It's neater, it won't overlay the plants around it quite so much, and it's a good means of also staggering flowering times if you've got similar plants and you'd like them to flower successively.